Okay, hello everybody. I'm back. Uh, I am going to set myself up and wait for some people to join. So while you folks do that, I will also double down on setup on my end. Okay, everyone can hear me. Uh, I am just going to open up the app, open up a few screens, set up my Chrome. Sorry, I should have done this beforehand. I was just kind of running late from something else we were working on, so I apologize. But I promise I will be with you all in a moment. Share my screen. Which one? I want to share this window. So this was the app, and this was. Sorry, I'm just getting my food moved around here. This was the. Uh, these are the docs. Okay, great. Got my docs, got my apps, and I think I'm sharing my screen correctly. Oh, no, I'm on stage. There we go. I think you all can see me now, and you can see my screen. So we're going to continue, and I got to jog my memory as to where I left off. I think I was trying to debug something when I went and deployed to production. The app wasn't working in production. So I got to figure that out, and then I got to do the App Store submission. So I'll do both of those, and then if I have time before I leave, and I do have a hard cutoff, I have to pick up my son at 4 p.m., and if I don't, all hell will break loose, so I need to leave in 2 hours. So my goal is to do those things, and then if I have time, work on caching, because I'm making direct calls from a Shopify store to Gadget. I don't want to do that every time. I want to do that some of the times, maybe when they're searching for a review. But if they're just hitting the product page, I want to return the same kind of 5 reviews every time. So those are the things I'm going to try to get done today. Definitely the App Store submission, and then maybe some more features. Okay, so sorry, I have another screen here with my notes on where I left off and just generally uh, where things are at. And yeah, so the thing I was trying to figure out was in production, if I go to my installs, I installed the app on my store, but it wasn't working. So let's just kind of start over and show you all that it's not working, and then I'll gradually move towards it's working. Uh, let's go and log into my store. So this is the store I'm using for the app. And where I had left off was actually, let me log into the store from inside Shopify, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new order for the, where's the admin? What is the Shopify URL? I don't even think these are any of them. How do I get to Shopify? Don't know where the URL is to get directly into the store. So there we go. So this is the store in Metafield SKU example. And the way it was supposed to work is if I go create an order and fulfill it, the shopper will receive an email saying, hey, please leave a review. And they can click that link, go to a page and leave the review. And I think where we got to yesterday was they were able to get the email, click the link, but then everything would crash. So let's test that out again, make sure it's still crashing. I don't see why it wouldn't be. So I'm going to simulate an order, create an order manually just to get the email to fire off. I need to hit fulfill and open up my email and go to the, there we go, no reply email that just came in. So I'm getting the email saying, hi, Mohammed, thanks for your order. It should have arrived by now. We'd love to hear what you think about the product. Thank you for choosing us. Great. And I get this error. And I'm pretty sure, I think where we left off was I'm pretty sure the assistant hard coded something in the script tag, sorry, the extension file, probably the script tag that Gadget gives me. And that script tag URL is different in development versus production. So I think the assistant is probably not good at knowing that it needs to tweak that URL. But let's go figure it out. So when I click on the link in the email in production, I get the following error. This one. And I think it might be related to having hard-coded using gadget development, APIs and concepts in production. Can you look through the extension file and tell me if anything is hard-coded to be directed at development? And what I'm getting at is I'm pretty sure when I hit deploy, because like I said yesterday, there's a script tag that Gadget generates for me, and that's what I'm using to power this app. I did not use a full proxy. I kind of put the script tag in the extension. And the script tag, if we go and look at it, so if you go installing direct script tag, this is the script tag in production. You can see my vibe coded reviews app Gadget app. And then if I switch to my development docs and go to, what is it, installing? Slightly different URL, -- development. So I think it hard coded this, and I believe there's probably a way not to hard code it. Let's see if the AI agrees that that was the mistake it made. Okay, what? What the heck just happened? Oh, that's a weird. Oh, did anyone else just see what I saw? I had a conversation running, and that conversation just disappeared. Holy mother of bugs. uh, this is really odd. Wow. Okay. Oh, wow. I confused myself. Conversations are scoped by environment. So that conversation was happening in production, which is a little confusing, which is why it's only in production. And in development, there's a different set of conversations. So this is in production. I'm asking about my production environment, and I asked if my theory was correct. The problem is 252. There's a hard-coded reference to the development environment. Looky, I was right again. So it used the script tag Gadget gave, but hard-coded the environment. Problem, the fix. You need to update to use my production URL. I see. Okay. Let me go back to development. What line did it say? 252. The URL in on line 252 of the extension file is currently aimed at my development environment script tag. Can you replace it with my production environment script tag? Or better yet, write it in a way where the env name is not hard-coded and is instead fetched from some context, if available. so that the same code works in dev and prod. So basically what I'm getting at is either it's going to be able to rewrite this in a way where it doesn't have to specify dash dash development or production, or I'm actually going to have to pick one or the other, because Gadget's mental model for deploy is you put the code in development, you hit deploy, that code goes to production. But that code goes exactly as is. So if it says dash dash development is going to get deployed. And I bet you, hopefully, we were smart enough at some point in our lives as a company to build some sort of helper that lets me not hard code environments. Famous last words. And if not, that's a glaring omission in Gadget, and I found yet another issue that I need to go fix, which is you should be able to not hard code your environment URLs. Okay, great. There we go. Yeah. Okay, great. We do have the environment. We can go fetch it and then append it to the URL. So that's what it's doing. It's doing the smarter thing. Like instead of choosing dev or prod, let me just generate the URL by finding the environment and creating it dynamically, and then use that dynamic environment URL to load the script. So I think this is good, at least like what I think it should be doing. I don't know if the code works or not. We'll find out. Let's wait for the assistant to kind of work it through. So it turns out that extension files are just brutally slow to generate for AI, not just in Gadget, but elsewhere. And I think it's one, because like special syntax, and then two, they're just really, really long. And I think actually the assistants iterate numerous times before they figure it out. So they take their sweet time sorting these out. But yesterday I was getting impatient and kind of closing the window, assuming it's a bug, opening a new chat. I went and looked at some of our monitoring in other tools, and no, they were actually running and just waiting on a final response from Claude. So it is actually really, really slow, sometimes minutes. So we'll wait this time, I guess. And yeah, it's still working through these. And then we'll click accept. And if that doesn't work in a minute or two, we'll start over. So I'm gonna do this. I think my app will work in production. I'm gonna test it out. I'm done with like V0, which is the first version I'm gonna submit to Shopify. And that'll be the base review app. You get an email, you could leave a review, no fancy or anything. The reason to do that is you get through the Shopify App Store review a lot faster if the app is small, and then you can kind of layer on features while they're reviewing your app. So my intent would be to submit it and then add caching and maybe some of that AI functionality tomorrow that we talked about, where I would actually go and enrich whoever left the review, find out who they are, and if they have social media followings, encourage them to go and share the review on their social media platforms as well, so that the brand gets more distribution. So this is still going. At this point, I'm just going to declare it buggy and take my prompt, which seemed to do the right thing, and take it to another chat. And while it's doing that, let me just go and kill. Oh, this is really weird. It just disappeared again. My conversation. Huh. These are some interesting bugs. Okay, yeah. Doing the same thing. Hopefully this time around it'll work. Oh, there we go. Way faster. Okay. Yeah, we'll take it. So now I need to deploy again to production. So let me do that and run another Shopify app deploy as well, but this will not let me. For some reason, my CLI got disconnected. Sometimes this happens with Shopify where like you'll have to reconnect to the CLI. So that's what was going on there. And I'm just getting the two-factor auth 725. And I think once that's done, I can go deploy. The reason this was blocking my deploy was because I wanted Gadget to also deploy my Shopify extension. And we cannot run the Shopify app deploy unless you're actually connected to the CLI. So it was grayed out. I had to connect. Now I can do it. So I'm going to force a deploy. I'm going to ignore these errors. These are the same errors I chose to ignore yesterday. This might take a minute. Now the latest code, schema, everything, infrastructure decisions all get kind of pushed up to production. And we'll go test the app. I'm pretty sure it's going to work. And then we'll go focus on like something a little bit more light today, which is filling out Shopify's App Store review process with AI. So getting all the media assets, the marketing content, and doing the submission. Build those front end assets. Yeah. Take a look at the stream. Oh, a lot quieter today. Sub 100. Oh, feeling lonely. If there's any questions, let me know. Nice. Did we deploy? Yep, last deployed a minute ago. We need to make this better. If there's a designer at Gadget watching the stream, I think it would be nice if the deploy card popped open at the end of a successful deploy, just to give you that confirmation that it worked. Okay, so I've deployed to production in theory and should be able to go and test my app again. I'm not sure if I'm going to have to simulate an order all over or if I can, yeah, I probably need to do that again. All right, let's go create another order. Let's pick one of the products that are easier to leave reviews for. Okay, so that didn't work. Let us go and debug why. Why are you not working? And I am going to look into, first of all, I want to see if it actually even did the thing it claimed it did. Where's my extensions folder? Extension, theme extension, locks. Wait a second, that's not the right. I don't think that's the right. I'm pretty sure my file path leading to the extension is very different from yesterday, or at least as I remember it. This is the problem with vibe coding. You're making so many changes and they're like big chunky changes and you don't review all of them. And then suddenly you're like, wait a second, my app looks very different from how it looked yesterday. So pretty sure the path leading to this is a little weird. It's theme extension blocks. Whereas in development, actually, maybe I changed it at some point yesterday and I forgot. Oh yeah, because I changed from the proxy approach to a script tag approach, I believe. Yeah, so this is dynamic. It's dynamic in production as well. Yeah, okay. Maybe I need the HTTPS. Yeah, I know. Oh, wait, what? Defer equals. Huh? Looking at the document for protecting a car offshore be blah. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't know what this defer is. Defer equals. Hmm. I try that first one. Okay, I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna take it back to the assistant in development. I forgot I'm in production, and in production, Gadget doesn't change code because it's production. So I'm gonna go back to dev where I might actually get code. Uh, I think it's gonna do this wrong. Is that our assistant, I believe, based on what I'm observing, doesn't know that our development assistant doesn't know that it cannot change production code. And so I think it thinks that hard coding the two environment URLs is the right approach. And oh, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, I take it back. What are you doing? The appropriate edge URL. Okay. Yep. So this is dev. This is prod. And okay. Didn't look like it changed much, but let's deploy that to production. See what happens. Okay. Let's collect another payment and create an order. And fulfill it. Go to my email, look for that email. Oh, there we go. Order has arrived. Leave us a review. Hit the button. Wrong. Hmm. Maybe it's in the email, actually, now that I think about it. It's still using the proxy URL, right? Okay. Where's the email? It's still not working. You know, the other thing I'm noticing is like, I think what I did is at some point I went from a app proxy approach to script tag, clearly. But this is, I'm pretty sure there's like missing Shopify stuff. In the extensions folder sitting at the root of my project are all of the files Shopify needs to power an extension using a gadget script tag there. For what it's worth, we can do okay, claims that everything I need is there, and it is not an issue. I am pretty sure deployed the extension, Shopify knows about it, and yet I still get this. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just kind of looking through Shopify's extension documentation on their website. Actually, let me just do it on my screen. Like, let's do this properly. So if I was this stuck, I would just go to Shopify docs and, theme extension specifically. And I think they have some sort of AI assistant somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Open assistant. What would you like to know? Uh, what are the minimum set of files needed to power a theme app extension? I just want to make sure that I have them all, because all I see is like this blocks folder and then the actual extension liquid and then the toml. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything else. I knew there was a whole like assets folder and a locales folder, but the AI is claiming both are optional, and the issue isn't that I'm missing those. I'll choose to trust it. But yeah, I okay. So let's see what Shopify said. Absolute minimum, toml, at least one liquid, yeah, in the blocks directory. So we have these two. So it's not that minimal structure. You know what? I think through run Shopify CLI, I'm not sure it's running. And that's weird because the assistant should have, yeah, maybe that's the issue. Yeah, that's a bad experience. I think the Shopify CLI should have been forced to run by Gadget, and it wasn't. And I think it took me a while to realize like that's probably the issue is I'm making changes to the extension, but Shopify doesn't know about them. I'm not sure why it wouldn't have worked in production though, because theoretically this deploy should have made it work, but not 100% sure. What was my password to this gadget? Hmm. I guess I'll just look at my logs real quick and see if I can notice anything else. Okay, so no errors as far as I see, but yesterday I came to discover that this UI isn't half as reliable as it pretends to be. And yeah, okay, so let's just, the reason I need to reinstall is because at the end of yesterday, I deleted the app from my development environment, and right now I'm reinstalling the development app. Production's already installed. So I'll go back to my theme. Oh, I wonder if it was just because I didn't turn it on in production. Okay, let me try that. Let's add a section first in development. We'll say product reviews dash dash development. No, no, not to the home page. What am I doing? To a product page. We'll do dash dash development. Perfect. Save. And then I guess the production one is up here. Okay, so prod is above, development is below, in case we get confused. And then I guess let's go test it again. And let's see if things are working. Did I deploy? No. Deploy. Perfect. Oh, yeah, I was just looking at my logs earlier because I just wanted to see if there's any other errors I might have missed or something. Oh, okay. There was an error at 1:46, 10 minutes ago. Perfect. No Shopify connections on this environment validated the incoming Shopify HMAC. This request for the right app and environment. I think I know what it's doing. So the assistant probably wrote a bunch of code for HMAC verification, which it didn't need to because Gadget connection to Shopify gives that to us. I bet that's what happened. So you know what? I'm not even going to go test in production because I'm pretty sure it's still not going to work and that this is actually the issue. I think the issue is that you wrote code for HMAC validation when in fact Gadget takes care of that for us. No? Again, being the Gadget co-founder helped me here because I know it is trying to do something that a feature of Gadget already supports, and my theory is that that something is broken. And by the way, this is the difference between building a Shopify app with Gadget versus not with Gadget. So what you're currently seeing, and this is a bug for us, is how AI would work building Shopify apps for everyone else. It would try to write all the code from scratch. A lot of that code is really hard to write. It's hundreds and hundreds, if not more, lines of code, and it gets it wrong often. But when it knows to use Gadget's built-in framework concepts and then extend them with custom code, it always works in one shot. So you kind of see the difference, like the times where it was like, yeah, Gadget has this Shopify connection, things are handled for me, let me use it. Things are one shot. But when it gets itself confused and thinks it needs to start coding up a Shopify integration, it runs into the reliability of AI problem, which is integrations are really hard to build correctly. And it's unlikely that an assistant, at least today, is going to get it right in 1, 2, or 10 shots, really. My camera. Oh, why would you need direct GraphQL calls to do an unauthenticated call? You can make any call authenticated in Gadget. Oh. Yeah, you're overcomplicating it significantly. Mhm. Let me see if I have. Hey, I want to become an AI prompt engineer. Good job. Hey. Um. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. It's just going back to. Is it hard coding things or? Not even sure. I think this is not going to work, but let's try it anyways. Hide. Yep, that works. That's good. Let me just try this in development again and let's see like that working end to end before we go back to prod. Oh yeah, I just need to go and create an order. What am I doing? Sorry, folks. A little scattered today. Okay, we create a new order, quality product of some sort. We get the email, and hopefully in development at least it works. And then we'll figure out why our deploy to production isn't working. The reason I get two emails is because the app is installed in both dev and prod. So I'm actually going to do this 2 times and see if one of them works. Nope, neither of them work. Neither dev nor prod. Okay, so whatever the assistant had sucked, I'm just going to roll it back because I don't want it. And great. We're back here. I'm going to delete the entire extension folder and start over. I don't know if I do that. I think I'm going to take a little minute and go and see if one of my colleagues has a theory, unless anyone in the chat has a theory. No? Nobody? Is anyone here? Am I talking to myself? Okay, I am going to pause for a moment and go chat with. Okay, unfortunately, my colleagues aren't around to save me. So I don't know if the extension's the issue because this is the app proxy URL. So it's got to be the app proxy. Maybe something about the file path changed again. Just looking at this, it doesn't look right to me because everything's under apps. So let's go to partners. Let's just open up both. The development one, oh, nope, that's not mine. Vibe coded reviews at prod. We use a shared account at Gadget, and you can see how many apps we build in a day. That like this was last night. So that was development, and that one's prod. And we have the nastiest list of apps. I don't know who's got the record. It's got to be us. There's no way we don't have over 1,000 apps in here. Okay, so I opened the two apps up, and the reason I did that was I just want to go back to the configuration page and look at both and see if I did anything wrong with the app proxy URL, or if, like yesterday, oops, wrong app. If, like yesterday, the assistant at some point decided to switch the URL back. Because I don't know if you folks remember, but that was happening a lot yesterday, where I wouldn't pay attention. And before I knew it, the assistant had gone somewhere and changed the URL to something that no longer matched what I'd given Shopify. So this is my development. This is my production. And let's go down to the app proxy, my app proxy. And this one is, where's the proxy for this? Oh, well, that'll do it for prod. I think that might be it. Oops, apologies. And okay. So yeah, I updated the URL because in production I had the wrong one, and I think both of them are correct now. And I'm just wondering if that was the issue. Although it wasn't working in development, so I don't think that could have been the issue. I'm pretty sure the file path is correct at this point. And I still don't see why I'm getting this HMAC issue constantly. Okay, let's deploy. And yeah, let's deploy both development and production extensions to Shopify, and let's test it again and see if that URL fixes it. Let me see if I can answer some questions while we're here. However, you are working on Jet, so not sure if you would need to do that. Prompt engineering is a lot of fun. Okay, so we've deployed to both. Let's go and test again, and hopefully it was just me being silly and putting the wrong URL. So we'll do this. And this is gonna, because I have both dev and prod installed, like last time, I'll get both emails. I kind of like this. I can test both at the same time. I don't really know which email's which is a little unfortunate, but if both work, great. If one of them doesn't work, I'll start investigating which one it is. So 2 emails should be coming my way. One for dev, there we go. One for dev, one for prod. I don't know which is which. Perfect. One of them worked. And perfect. Excellent. So I have Devon Prod pages loading, and let's just leave a review in both Dev and Prod. Yeah. Okay. Now let's go to my store again. Easy way to get to your store if you're not sure from Gadget is just hit this play button. If you're a Shopify app, it'll just show you the stores installed, and if it's one of your stores, you can log in, obviously. So I will go and just make sure. So in development, I can see there should be one. Oops. June 4th, 12:50 p.m. That's not right. Whoa. Let's go to our schema and see why that review didn't show up. I think what I'm looking for is, yeah, that's odd. Huh. Let's go look at our logs. Weird. Interesting. Let's go look at production. Did that one work? Oh, production twice. Did I mess that up again? Or is it in my code now that everything's going to... Oh, I think I know what this is. This is just a little bit of a mix-up of just like how the two clients load, because I have both installed on the same store. This is a little gadget issue that we're working on. Both of them will fire at the same time, and things get a little confusing. So that's a gadget bug. Two clients installed on the same store can create weird conflicts where Shopify gets confused about which one's which, and that's why both of those creates ended up in production instead of development. So that I think I can just deal with easily, which is no real user is going to have both development and production installed. That's a me problem, and I've chosen to put both on the same test store. I'll just uninstall development and go look at the production app. Make sure that's working, because that's the one I care about. Great. So these are non-published, and then if I pick, hit publish, it'll go to publish, and if I go, this should not. Yeah, 6 is not allowed, 4 is allowed, 5 is allowed, and unpublish. Great. Now let's just go look at my data and see, or in my logs as well, what happened. Unpublished notification sent. So there's some console log statements the AI had added, and I bet you if I look at my email now, there's probably a bunch of emails about like my review being published, my review being rejected. Yeah, okay, great. We have a working app. Fantastic. Finally, last thing to test is, of course, I put this on a really complicated product. So let me go to Gadget's database and find out which product I actually left this review on. So this review is on product ID blah. I'm just going to copy it. And the reason I'm going to do that is both of these are published false. So let me publish one of them. And then we'll go to the store and we'll look for this product ID. You can't do that in Shopify. I thought you could just search by product ID. Naive of me. We'll do it. I think you can do it this way, where you'll get the product from Shopify. Is there a preview? Yeah. Unable to load customer reviews at this time. That's odd. There should be an approved review on this one. Is there an approved review on this one? Published as true on one of them. Let's go publish the other one. I'm wondering if it was just because one of them was technically not production. I go approve this one. Let's refresh our page. Oh, okay, so I'm still not loading anything. But I'm one step further, which is I am at least getting the email, and the email works, and I could leave a review, and Gadget gets the review. But not seeing anything in my logs that indicates an issue. I'm going to go check out my console log in a second, as well as my network tab. So let's go look at over here. What is going on? Error fetching reviews, cannot read properties of undefined at fetch reviews. And this course issue I don't think is a real problem. So also maybe let me look at problems drawer. Doesn't have any problems. Development. Also I don't have any problems. So I get this error in my console every time I try to load reviews from the extension. Nothing shows. Fix it. Very slow. Liquid file again, of course. Okay. What? Hmm. Basically telling it to dynamically generate the script tag URL again, just because I noticed in the last diff it gave me, it didn't do that. It went back to using the hard-coded development URL. And what I want to do is the same code is running in development and production, and I want the environment to be dynamically added. So app name. No. Okay. The first portion The first portion of the URL is not dynamic. It is static. It is always or here, I'll just give it to it without the HTTPS. It's always my vibe coded reviews app. The only thing that needs to be dynamic is how the environment is appended to this. This itself, or like the app name itself, is fixed and does not need to be dynamically identified. So what am I doing here? I just I saw it in this line. I can read enough code to understand that it's trying to figure out the name of my app here. And that makes no sense. I think the reason it's trying to figure out the name of my app is so that it can generate the first portion of the URL, but I can just tell it that the thing is always the same. It does some stupid stuff. Very good at code writing, but dumb, you know? And a little too eager to write code versus think. Okay, so my burger is, yeah, great. If the environment, what? Okay, yeah, if it's development, oh, there's no cost. Gadget, no. Gadget dev URLs don't have local host in them because they run in the cloud. Review Gadget's documentation and find the correct way to identify the environment in code. Don't make up your own way. Search the docs and find the Gadget way and do it that way. Sorry, I keep opening up my chat by mistake. Close a few of these. I'm getting notifications I can hear, and they are a little distracting. There we go. Okay, so let's see. Perfect now. Perfect. There's a way to dynamically fetch the environment in Gadget, and that is the way. I know it because I've seen it in the docs, not because I've used it, and so I'm pretty sure it's on the right track. Classic extension file will take forever. I think this is why a lot of people consider Gemini better for Shopify app development than Claude, or at least parts of Shopify app development. Gemini handles like really large context windows. And so you can do two things. One, you can give it a lot more Shopify information, including Polaris docs and things like that, because Claude is always one version of Polaris behind, it seems. So I think that's a big advantage. And then the other thing I think is just like handling big files, and extension files are seemingly very, very large. And I just think Gemini is probably more likely to be good at extension generation quickly than Claude. That's my theory. But I could be wrong. This is taking too long. I'm going to take my prompt and move it over. This is kind of annoying. So like pretty much like 1 out of every 3 times I'm prompting for a change on an extension file, Gadget's basically either crashing or taking so long that effectively it looks like it's crashing to me. So that's pretty annoying, and I think it's the size of those extension files that's the issue. Mhm. Oh, wait a second. It's not going to be able to do that inside of a extension. Current or URL based checks. Yeah, but this check is gonna live inside of a Shopify theme extension, so I'm not sure. Will be present. Um, what is the right way to figure out if the client is the dev or prod client when inside a Shopify extension? Oh, dude. Oh, yeah, there you go. Window includes, yeah, okay. Yeah, no, not shop domain. I don't think we want to look at the shop domain. And also, domain is a little ambiguous. I think we need like the Shopify URL. I like option one. No, I like option. Hmm. I want this approach, but I also want to make sure that the domain you look up is the permanent Shopify domain and not a temporary one. Shopify has like the My Shopify domain, and that's kind of fixed, and then the other domains can all kind of change. And so I don't want to write any code that's about the domains that might change. Like a user can go buy a new domain, change the domain. I only want to direct my code to the fixed Shopify domains so that I can actually predictably write code against them. So approach. Would you like? Yes, that's what I asked for. Update my thingy. Hmm. 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 I don't know why we want the plan name, but okay. No, 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 no. I don't think this is what we want. It's looking at the Actually, wait, no, is it in the permanent domain? Hmm. I think maybe work. Doing the weird ass thing again. Okay. Hmm. Why are you taking so long? Let's see what it does. Okay, well, it does that. I will read a little bit of documentation about how to even submit something to Shopify because an app submission is probably a lot of paperwork, and I don't think I've done that paperwork ever. Just doing two-factor auth on my phone. Mhm. Mhm. I don't know why it's looking at the plan name. I don't know why it's looking at the plan name. That's a real puzzler. Let me think this through for a moment. Did I, sorry, I'm on a different Chrome window by mistake, thinking you folks can see what I see. I don't think this is right. I don't know why you are looking at the plan name. Mm, I don't know about this one either. Go to my handy dandy chat and see if any of my friends have a theory here. I don't know what I'm doing. This is a domain issue again. I'm basically stuck at the same thing I was stuck at yesterday, which is somewhere along the way, this extension is not pointing at the right environment. And I just don't know why it's trying to look at the shop domain and see if the shop is development. Like, how would you know that by looking at the shop domain in Shopify? I'm missing something? Why would this? I'm gonna ask it some questions and see what it thinks, but I think it's just confused. Yeah, this completely wrong. The theme extension can't determine whether to use dev or production based on the shop domain. That doesn't make any sense. The storefront, I need to know which, like, whatever the theme extension to know. No, I don't want to do that. Stop telling me that. Use environment detection in the script. Yeah, that was what I was trying to do yesterday. But, you know, you decided to switch it to a script tag. It's trying to take me back to the app proxy approach, which is the thing I was trying to do yesterday, which was the better approach. I agree. And then it switched me to a theme extension approach, and now it's saying, oh, yeah, you should go back to an app proxy approach. Let me just pause for a moment, and I'll go ask a couple of questions of my colleagues and come back. Be right back. Okay, I am just wrong. The assistant is not. There is no way to dynamically decide what environment is making the call from Shopify side, which kind of makes sense because the environment information is Gadget side. So why the assistant is giving me all this nonsense, I don't know. But I think the easy fix should just be like, let me just not use the same dev store and production store. So I think if I say dev is hard coded to metafield SKU example, everything else go to prod. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to say anything coming from this store, treat it like development because this is my development store. Anything coming from other stores, that's production. So let's try a different way. Let's hard code that if the permanent shop domain is or includes, then the environment is development. Otherwise, it's production. And let's use this to dynamically set the script tag URL. So basically, I'm just saying if the store is Metafield SKU example, it's development. If the store is anything other than Metafield SKU example, it's production. And that's because I know this is my store. I know I'll have development set up there, and I'm not sharing my screen again. Yeah. And so I think this should work. Yeah. Where's the rest of it? Okay, yeah. So, and if it's not, it's production. Yeah, perfect. I think this is it, folks. So I think let's do an end-to-end test, but I think I'm gonna have to go and install this on a different store, which I'm not sure I can anymore because Shopify is really annoying with this stuff. And they used to only let you install the app on one test store. And then you had to like submit it to the App Store in order to install it some more. So where's my prod? There we go. Let's see if I can install on a different store. I think I need one with transfer disabled for it to work. Yeah, let's grab this. I think these ones unauthorized access. I need one that I have access to, which again, like why I don't have access to all stores here makes no sense. The UI makes no sense. The UX makes no sense. None of it makes sense. And some designer needs to give their head a shake. Okay. Let me trial and error my way to figuring out which store I actually have access to from this list of stores that I'm allowed to click on. Make it make sense. Store transfer disabled. And can I? Nope. I can't search for myself. You. We're going to click on enough of them till one works, I guess. No. Here, I'm just going to go into the. Can I log in first? Maybe I need to find one that I can log into because none of these seem accessible to me. Hmm. Sorry, folks. I should have my test stores cleaned up. colleagues knows of a test store that has products that I have access to. Here, I think the way I can give myself access is to leave apps, go to stores, find a development store that I like, and maybe like log into it. What are the actions? No, the actions are useless. Let me see if I am a user. I am. And so let me go back here. It was called Dev AOC Test Store. We're going to go install on Dev AOC Test Store. There we go. Okay, got some product reviews to look at. Let's go and test it out end to end. So let's say a user had bought a product from, hopefully I am the customer here. Nope. Place the order. Fulfill it. Look for an email. Those are old emails. There we go. Oh my God, the store has a password. Oh, WLC, where is your password? Online store password. Does this? Okay, gonna remove that. And or maybe I need it. AAA is now the password. So I should have gotten this email and I would have, that's not, yeah, so I would leave a review. The review is now hopefully on that product. Which product was it? Great question. One second, folks. Everything is off again. I'll be right back. folks hear me now? I believe that should work. Does that work? Okay. Sorry. What I was saying is I'm pretty sure, again, I installed it on a test store with too many script tags. And so I need to install this on a store that doesn't have 10 million of my script tags firing. And I need to make sure that I have a test store that doesn't have 10 million script tags firing on it. And that's my issue right now, is not even coding. It's just bullshit. So I'm going to add a new store, create a dev store, and for testing and building my new test store. By the way, this UI is the absolute worst. Shopify lies to you left and right. This banner here, let me tell you, there's a banner up here. This is important because every one of you is going to get confused. Somewhere in the app creation screen, I don't know exactly where, maybe when I click create app. Nope. When I click configure, I think, yeah. So if you click on any of your apps in Shopify and you click on configuration and you go all the way down to the customer data protected stuff. So, or sorry, that's API access, I think. You'll see a little banner that says blah, 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 blah. And I've done this one, but if I wasn't here, let me pick an app where I haven't done it. I need to show. So the banner basically says you don't need to fill out this form if you go pick a test store. That is a lie. That is a lie. Don't listen to Shopify. They don't even know how their own product works. To avoid filling out that form and to allow you to actually install your test store correctly, you need to do two things, not one. One of them is what I was doing initially, which is creating a development store and picking it's a test store, which should be sufficient according to what Shopify claims, but that is not true. Do not listen to them. You also need to make sure to pick this. For whatever reason, if you pick start with an empty store, you need to fill out a bunch more forms, but if you start with some test data, you don't need to. And so this is actually the thing you need to make a smooth installation of a test store on your Gadget app. And not this. And Shopify's documentation will tell you all you need to do is pick this. That's not true. Don't listen to them. It's a lie. Okay, so store name, a URL for, let me give it a store name, Mohammed's demo store. It's definitely not going to be available. Mohammed's demo store. Yep. Oh, that is available. Nice. Okay, so we got a test store coming. And now I should be able to go and install my app on this demo store. So let's go back to the partners dashboard and let's install my production app again. Yep, that's mine. And let's test it on this new store I just created. Great. This store is fresh, so there should only be one script tag firing, which means I should actually be able to test this thing end to end for the first time in 2 days. I've tested bits and pieces of it, but I've never actually managed to do the whole thing end to end for silly reasons like the URL being wrong or weird bugs like there just being too many script tags on one of my test stores. So create the order, fulfill the order, get the email. At this point, I've done this so many times that I can do it in my sleep. Why is this not? Oh, it's a gift card. I bought the wrong product. I need to buy a non-gift card product so I can actually fulfill it. So we'll do a snowboard, and we'll say same buyer. Mark is paid, and request fulfillment. What? Oh no, this is a warehouse thingy. No, I don't want this. A normal product. Sorry guys, I should have test stores ready. This is annoying. This product is the one I'm going to go buy. For whatever reason, the test product Shopify created was had some weird fulfillment requirements that I just don't care for right now and don't care to navigate. Great. Now I get the email, hopefully. There we go. Only one email because I only have one app installed here. The demo store password is online store password. Log in and oh, sorry, I wanted to click the email properly. Great. So now I would leave the review as the customer. Boom. And if I go to, I think I have a test product. Oh, I never turned on. I got to turn on the extension. So if I were the merchant, I would probably want to actually go to my extensions and turn them on. There we go. Save them. Oh no, I just turned it on the homepage again. I keep doing that. It's on the product page. We want to put it in the template. I don't know. And we'll turn it on. There we go. We'll save. And now let's go look at this product and let's refresh. So reviews are empty, but it's loading. That's somewhat promising. Why is it empty? So I left a review, and did the review show up? Oh, my review didn't. Oh, no, it is there. Oh, it's not published. Of course. The store owner has to publish the app the review in order for the review to show up on the storefront. So we'll go to my app. The review's sitting here waiting for me. I hit publish, and then I go and refresh, and hopefully this is a little slow. I'm not sure why. Why is this so slow? Let's go see why it's not loading it. Fun. No logs found in the last 15 minutes. That's concerning. Nope. Info. Okay, so it published, the email got sent, I saw that, but I don't see anything concerning. Any errors? No. Okay, no errors. Let's go look at our console. It's just not defined at what is going on here? the review doesn't load on the storefront even after it is published. It just shows the message was what, loading reviews. And there is this error in my console. And I just want to take a look at the network tab as well real quick, see what's going on over there. So console, we already reported that one. Same, Chrome's move. Yeah, okay, so nothing else to report. Gadget API client script isn't loading properly. Let me check. And oh, it's probably just like some. Yeah, I need to go back to development because again, the assistant doesn't write code in production. My gadget, right here. I'm gonna copy the same prompt. Seemed to be good. Why mess with something that's working? Go back to development. By the way, if you see all these environments, it's because as I was building, I started kind of creating clones and forks, and that was just giving me safe points to go back in time if I needed them. That's not what environments are designed for. They're designed for like developers working in teams, but for vibe coding, you can kind of use it as a really weird rudimentary like source control or version control system. Mhm. All right, let's pretend this is right and see what happens. Still not loading. Same issue as far as I see. Although this is in production, so I got to deploy, right? I think I got to deploy every time now because I'm in prod. And that's my production extension. Yeah. Okay. So when I'm making a change, I gotta keep remembering to deploy. I'm testing in production now, not in development. So when I make changes in development, I can't just go straight and test it. And that's what I did was I accepted the change in development, and then I went to a store that was actually connected to production and started testing it without ever actually deploying my code to production. So hopefully that is it. By the way, every time I build, whether it's a little bit by hand or with AI, any piece of software, I'm always reminded of like how much of the developer's time goes to nonsense, just like reading docs, making sure you did things in the right order, remembering that you accidentally pointed to this URL instead of that one for some reason yesterday, and now today you got to change it, and how painful these mistakes can be. Like if you do it wrong or you forget what you did, you can kind of go down a rabbit hole for hours looking for something and then realize like, oh, it was as simple as like I forgot to update the setting in Shopify's partner dashboard. It wasn't really a bug I could debug in any other way other than remembering I did it wrong. So I find there's a lot of that, and yeah, I appreciate what developers have to keep in their heads while they're coding because there's a lot. Okay, cool. So updated theme, updated everything. Will it load? It will not. Unable to load reviews at this time. So now it's a different message. What are we seeing now? 44 not found. Okay, proxy reviews. It's because of these silly query parameters that it's added. Again, it just loves adding these query parameters to the code. remove any query parameters that are appended to the script tag URL. And the reason it keeps doing this, I think, is like it wants to give the user some options of how many to show and whatnot. But super annoying. Like I've fixed this URL probably on video now 9 times. And every time I try to fix something else on the file, the URL is broken. Definitely one of the most annoying things I've experienced so far. I think I have to deploy again. Yeah. So this is the problem with testing in production. Testing extensions in production is, I think the process is just a little bit cumbersome. I can't just switch tabs and see what I changed. I think the query parameters did it. I think Gadget wasn't expecting to get this additional query parameters. And my theory is if I tell the assistant to get rid of that, it will work. But famous last words, I could be wrong. Although some of these look like they might be Shopify, actually, so maybe I'm wrong. Still deploying, which is not bad, but a little slow. Okay, deploy is done. Let's see. Nope, unable to load reviews at this time. Okay, what now? 4.4 not found, 4.4 not found. I'm getting these. Why am I getting these? I keep getting 4.4 not found in production when I try to load the reviews. Are you sure you did not mess up the URLs in this file like you have done 100 times so far? A little hostile towards the AI. Yeah, that's right. Apologize. Is that better to call directly from the but this URL doesn't exist on the Shopify store? Okay, there you go. Yeah. So if it's development and the domain, well, is development, where's that coming from? Hmm. I think it did it right, but I'm running out of patience. So I just want to make sure because what I find weird is like to decide if it's development, it's looking at the shop domain, but also making sure it includes this, which just like seems a bit redundant, but okay. If you say so. Probably need to deploy again. Yes, I do. Deploy to product. Ooh, did I not accept this? Deploy. And we wait. there's any questions or comments, feel free to shoot them over and I'll try to take them. I think this has gone so slow that I won't even get to submitting the App Store review, but I'd rather finish the app in front of you folks. I might just kind of shoot a video of me like filling out the App Store forms on my own later. If anyone cares, let me know. I'll send a link, but I'll probably do it sometime separately, and then I'll follow up on did this app actually get approved or not. So the deploy is still deploying. We should be done soon. Yeah. And unable to load reviews at this time. What? Did it do the thing again? Or it added... no, it didn't. Still 404ing. Still getting this. Deploy once more. This is why you should keep testing in development until you're done, and then go to production. At this point, I'm just testing in production, so a little bit slower, a little bit more annoying. I'm gonna have to deploy every single time with Shopify to kind of be able to see my changes, which I'm not a fan of. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did my deploy just fail? Failed to scan for dependencies. Whoa. Mm. Mm. Oh no. Please don't tell me I just borked my app. Oh, it's still working. Okay, great. I wonder if my deploy to Shopify is somehow not working and I'm just not seeing it. So let's go back to my files. Thing and my terminal is my terminal even booted up? Run Shopify CLI. I don't even know if I've been sending the latest changes to Shopify. Thanks. Hmm. No errors related to my extension. That's good. Deploy again. And I don't know why this would matter, but I just find it weird that my terminal was not running Shopify CLI at all throughout this whole thing. So how would Shopify know about all the updates to my extension if I wasn't running the CLI? I'm not sure. The assistant should have known better. So that's a bug for sure that I had to go and tell it. I think this is the issue. At some point, it reverted to doing this instead of putting it in the brackets, and we had the same problem yesterday. So I think I'm just going to tell it that that's probably the problem. Let's see first, though, if anything's showing up. No. Loading reviews. Nope. Let's go here. I'm pretty sure the folder containing the extension is misnamed and should be order ID, right? If so, can you update it and also update any other code in the app that is referencing the extension file as the code paths have changed? Basically saying, like, I'm pretty sure you did this wrong. Yesterday I had brackets around it. That's how it worked. Today we're back to square one. Go change it. But anytime you change anything about a folder, the path to getting to the files under it also change. So getting to this file will change because of the changes we make here, possibly, not always. And so I'm just kind of trying to avoid the next bug, which is to tell it to go update whatever is trying to refer to this file. So change the folder, change every single reference to where this file is located in one proposal. And you can see here, that's why I'm getting 4 files. So let's look at them. You can see, yeah, great. Not only did it fix order, did the same for product as well. And I think it just actually deleted the entire file and moved it to a new one. And I think product, is there a reference to these? No, okay. Maybe not. Yeah, I think that's it actually. What about the shouldn't the extension file also be updated to reference the correct backend route with the new folder name? So even though I told it last time to figure this out, it did not, and that's really annoying. I've probably done like 300 prompts at this point, and I would say about, maybe not 300, let's 150 prompts. I would say about 75 of them have been about this one URL, or sorry, the 2 URLs, the app proxy and the script tag. 75 of them have been about the entirety of the rest of the app, which is crazy to me that like you kind of get yourself to like 99% done, and then there's this one little thing which by hand I could have fixed like 10,000 times, but then the assistant kind of gets stuck on. So there's a road to call. No, it's not though. I think that should be but it's not under API. The file path is clearly wrong. There is no API folder. Why don't you update the extension file so the file paths are right? This is really interesting. I've not had this problem with Gadget in the past, and I'm wondering if this is like Sonnet 4, or maybe I'm just wrong. I don't know. Hmm. That was done. Let's deploy to prod. Hmm. Oh my goodness, so close. No cigar. Still not fetching anything. Let's go look at our console. Still. Oh no, cores. Cores issue now. Why? Why suddenly a cores issue? Randomly unrelated to anything I've been working on. Failed, and then I see this error in my console now in production. Yeah. Wait, what? Okay, but you're. Try again. Yeah. Joe, I think the big learning for me from this is like there's like four prompts I need to write and most of these problems disappear. And I think I just need to give the assistant like a very definitive guide on, do I use an app proxy or do I use a script tag? Do I cache it or not? Do I need course headers or not? And just kind of force the assistant to think these things through by giving it a few prompts anytime it's working with an extension. And I bet you all of these problems go away. In fact, I'm going to go update the prompts tonight and see if they go away tomorrow, because it's the same three things it's getting wrong 10 million times. And that is hopefully easy to fix. Restart the app. Did you finish your app, Joe? And what were you building? I think this check logs button is also broken. 100% sure. Sorry, not sure why my deploy is taking forever. I think this deploy is a little busted. I don't know why. My goodness. Folks, my deploy is busted, and I don't know why. I need to go pick up my son. Uh, that's not a thing I can mess with. My wife will kill me. So I have to go offline again, and I'll probably come back online at some point tonight and figure this out. I might just do this on my end, like casually on Discord, and communicate it with you folks so you can join if you're interested. And if not, I'll just do it and then post on my Twitter exactly what I did to fix this issue. This might be just a gadget bug, so I'll have to go look into it. Thanks again for your time, and sorry I didn't make it through this last push. I'm not sure what is going on with my deploy. Take care.